All right, Nick, big news out of the Volunteer State. Tennessee has gotten themselves an absolute massive commitment. I think it's going to be huge for the program going forward. We have never seen somebody that is the likes of this guy.
Yeah, Miles, this is like you alluded to, a massive move for the Tennessee Volunteers. Another great job by Heupel and company. But before we get into that report, Vols fans, we got to hear from you as always in the comment section below. Regular season, not that far away. We're about 30 or so days away. That's why we want to hear from you guys. Give us your prediction for the Volunteers record in the comment section below. Now's the time to bring the receipts. Show us what you think for the Tennessee Volunteers 2023 season in the comment section below. But all right, Miles, what you got? What's this big move out of Knoxville?
Yeah, Nick, let's head on over before we go to Knoxville. Go down to Sugarland, Texas. Love the name of that city. And we are talking about none other than Bennett Warren, the 4-star offensive lineman out of Sugarland, Texas. This guy is massive. 6'8", 330 pounds, an absolute monstrosity of offensive lineman, has committed to the Volunteers. Before we get into all that, let's get into the story, Nick. This is from Hayes Fawcett at On3 Sports. A lot of great recruiting news for the college realm. So go check out Hayes Fawcett on Twitter. He's going to give you everything that you're going to want to know about recruiting. So, Nick, it says 4-star offensive tackle Bennett Warren of Sugarland, Texas, Fort Bend Christian Academy, announced his commitment to Tennessee Monday morning. The 6'8", 330-pounder chose the Vols over Michigan, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. The Lone Star State offensive tackle joins coach Josh Heupel in the Vols' top 10 class in 2024 rankings, and he is accompanied by 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews, 4-star quarterback Jake Merklinger, among others. Warren ranks as the number 157 player in the On3 industry ranking. He also tabs in as the number 13 offensive tackle and the number 29 player in the state of Texas. We talk about Florida. Texas is the same way. Being top 30 in the state of Texas is extremely impressive. This guy is going to be a huge addition to the Volunteers, not just physically, but also on the field. I think he's going to be a big impact the day he gets there. But Nick, I'm excited. Let's get into it. What do you think about this move for the Volunteers, and what do you think it means for Tennessee going forward?
I think this is just a perfect example of Heupel understanding exactly how he wants to construct his team and how to mitigate risk. And here's what I mean by that. This is a team under Heupel that's been extremely focused at the quarterback position, being an aggressive downfield attacking team with big play wide receivers. He's very famous in his offense for spreading out the wide receivers as close to the boundaries as physically possible. That means these are long developing plays put a lot of pressure on the offensive on the offensive lineman, especially the offensive tackle. Heupel understands this. He knows that he has to recruit that position aggressively. He doesn't have to just get the best guys. He has to get a lot of guys because he can't just get one big time offensive tackle recruit. And if he screws up and this guy doesn't become a quality player, their offense could be totally hosed. That's why I'm very intrigued by the fact that the Tennessee Volunteers for the 2024 class mice already have 3 offensive tackle commits. To me, when you add this guy into the fold, to me, that shows Heupel understands his biggest weakness in his offense. We know they're great at quarterback. We know they bring in a lot of great quarterback recruits. We know the future's so bright at that position. We know the defense is always going to be pretty solid. We know their wide receivers are absolutely fantastic. The one potential weakness for this Tennessee Volunteers team is if they get weak at the offensive tackles and a great pass rush team like the Georgia Bulldogs are able to put pressure on the quarterback and blow up the offense. Heupel understands that is their long-term potential weakness, and he has gone out this offseason and done everything in his power to address that, not just with one top recruit, but 3. I think this is a really smart move by Heupel and company. I think it's a great sign for the Volunteers going forward.
Yeah, Nick, and Tennessee really has been on a roll lately the past 3 seasons or so. They've had a lot of top tier offensive linemen they shipped off to the NFL. You think about Darnell Wright, they went to the Bears, offensive tackle. Cade Mays, who went to the Panthers at guard in 2022, then go all the way back to 2021. Trey Smith, the guard, who went over to the Chiefs. There's been a lot of high tier O linemen coming out of Tennessee lately. And I think that's exactly what you were saying. That's exactly what you alluded to. He is focusing. He knows what the offense is. And you know what they need to succeed is a lot of really great offensive linemen to keep this thing chugging. And this is no exception. Bennett is going to be a phenomenal player for Tennessee going forward. Really fit the bill. Just an absolute all-around playmaker. This guy has elite length, elite size, wingspan, everything you could want. He has great lateral range of movement. He's very light footed. He's not too heavy footed like you see out of some of these absolutely monster guys. So he's good. He's athletic. He's got some really great basketball background to him as well. Just some things that you want to see out of a big man, someone that can move, be light on their feet, but also, plant it in and stand their ground when they need to. So I think this guy going forward is going to be a huge move for Tennessee. And I think this offensive line pipeline they have started the last 3 years or so is really going to carry them into the future.
Yeah, Miles, let's give some credit where credit is due. How about Glenn Ellerbe, their offensive line coach, what he's done? You brought up a great point. All those guys who went on to the NFL and have done so far really successfully in their careers. Darnell Wright looks really strong so far for the Chicago Bears, at least in terms of training camp. This is a guy in Ellerbe who was able to develop these guys into NFL prospects. You better believe the recruits see that. And once you start that pipeline going, you get that flywheel building up. You bring in prospects, you develop them into NFL guys, top prospects who want to go to the NFL, then come fly into your program. That's exactly what we're seeing at the offensive line position for the Tennessee Volunteers. And that's just another reason to believe that this fall's program is going to continue to build momentum and quickly return to the ranks of a national powerhouse.